Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are in a 2023 Nissan Rogue SV. This is a front-wheel drive car with the 1.5 liter 3-cylinder turbo engine, and we are going to do a fuel economy test on it. So we just filled up the tank. I'm going to cruise down the highway for 55, 57 miles, something like that. Turn it around and cruise back up the highway to the same gas station, top it off with the same gas pump, and do the math. This car is rated at 37 miles per gallon highway per the EPA, and it already claims that it's getting 36.7, miles per gallon. And we are at the beginning of the drive, so I'm expecting smooth traffic this evening based on the reconnaissance that I did before I left the house. And as always, I have my adaptive cruise control, in this case my Nissan Pro Pilot Assist, set to 70 miles per hour. And I will try to maintain as close to that as I can to get a bit of a real-world reading on the highway fuel economy on this car. So we're going to cruise down the road for a bit, and I will get you an update right now. All right, so we've covered about 35 miles, and the car thinks it's flirting with 40 miles per gallon. We will see if that remains and how accurate that is. Traffic has been very cooperative, no slowdowns to mention. It should be noted that for the most part, we might be on a slight uphill here, but the CVT transmission has been keeping the 3-cylinder engine right around 2,000 RPM. It's a little bit higher because we're going uphill right now, which is pretty low RPM for a 1.5 liter engine, kind of moving this size of a vehicle around. And I have also been keeping an eye on my boost gauge for my variable compression turbo. So if you don't know how this works, the 0 or below is kind of where you want to be for fuel economy. When it goes above 0, that indicates that the turbo is essentially spooled up and pumping extra air into the intake manifold, which means the car's computer is giving the engine extra gasoline to burn. So right now we're positive boost, so it's burning a little bit of extra gas, but the reason why we're doing that, again, you can't really tell, but we're on a slight uphill here. For the most part, this route is pretty flat, and of course we're going to end up at the same gas station we started at, so net zero elevation change. And I'm going to continue on through the night and get to my turnaround spot, turn it around, and we'll see what that does to the fuel economy. Oh, it's down to 39.0 now because of that uphill bit. So anyway, I'll get it turned around and give you another update. Okay, so I turned around slightly earlier than I normally do because Caltrans was setting up shop and they had 3 lanes shut down, so that maybe cut 4 or 5 miles off of the total drive for the night, but that's fine. We'll still be over 100 miles by the time it's all said and done. I'm turned around, I'm on my way back. My average has dipped to 38.3. Some person on a loud motorcycle is passing me in the slow lane and going faster in the slow lane. Get his license plate, he's lost his mind. So anyways, we're on our way back. We got the adaptive cruise set at 70 miles per hour as per usual. My boost gauge is at kind of 0 right now. That's pretty nominal. So things are going well. I'll have an update in just a second. All right, we're bringing it home. We just crossed the 100-mile mark. The car thinks it's averaging 38.3. One thing I've noticed on this route that I've been using is that the cars that are potentially a little bit under-engined, like a 1.5 liter 3-cylinder in a Nissan Rogue, tend to actually lose a little bit of fuel economy on the way back, at least based on the car's calculated average, whereas the vehicles with bigger engines seem to not mind that. So anyway, that's just a little bit of a interesting observation on my part. We're going to get this thing back to the gas station. Oh, it's coming back up. It's up to 38.5 now. Who knows? We'll see how accurate it is. right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the moment of truth. We covered 109.9 miles. The car thinks it averaged 38.6 miles per gallon, and it took 3.328 gallons. So, let us do the math. Calculator, 109.9 divided by 3.328 equals, oh my God, 33? This stupid thing thinks it got 38. It got 33. Did I do that right? Okay, 109.9. Yeah, divided by 3.328. 33.022. That's pretty bad, honestly, because this thing's supposed to get 37, and most cars that I test in this manner do better than their EPA rating, and this car not only flunked it by 4 miles per gallon, but it overestimated itself by 5.5. That's surprising to me, kind of. See, these little tiny engines with turbos are not always the best way to go. And it's funny because normally I don't do this, but I was planning on doing this anyway. So I'm going to have this car for a few more days, and I'm going to use it to commute to work and stuff. So I'm going to reset this. And we'll see what it does not in a controlled test environment. This is going to be disastrous. So stay tuned for that. We'll make it quick. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So through the magic of time traveling, it's now about 4.5 days later. I've been using this car to commute to work, drive around, run errands. I filmed it today. So these are all situations that are not going to net me the best fuel economy, which is why I don't normally do my tests like this, but just based on the timing, I was going to have this car long enough to do it, so I did it. So you can see the tail of the tape. I covered 318.6 miles. I averaged 34 miles per hour. The car was on for 9 hours and 7 minutes, and it thinks it averaged 29.8 miles per gallon, which, if that were true, is 0.2 of a mile per gallon below its EPA city rating. Some of this driving was done on the highway, but it took 12.010 gallons of fuel. And I'm back at the same gas station that I almost always use for this. So 318.6 divided by 12.01 equals 26.5 miles per gallon. So it didn't get 29.8, it got 26.5. Now again, this tank of fuel right here that I just filled up, the gas light actually just came on like 2 miles before I got to the gas station. I would not expect great gas mileage out of, but it didn't even make its city number, and some of that driving definitely was on the highway. So yeah, this car's fuel economy is unimpressive. In my opinion, it's not even capable of making its EPA number because it fell so far short of the highway number when I did the highway test. The way I set these tests up, normally the way that I do it, like the first average, the one that you saw before this one, is I run those to basically test the car against its EPA rating. And most cars beat it by 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 miles per gallon. This one failed and continued to fail. So, yeah, I don't mind this car. This is not a bad car, but it doesn't get great gas mileage despite its tiny engine. But I think that a 1.5 liter is just a little overworked for a car of this size. So I commend Nissan for their engineering, but go back to the drawing board or put a diesel in it. That would work better. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, etc., etc. Bye-bye.